Yep, this is my kitchen. I did not set myself up for success this morning. So normally I'm able to trick myself and say, your tomorrow self is going to be so happy you just cleaned the kitchen tonight. Well, that did not happen last night, so I'm up this morning doing dishes. Not only did I not clean the kitchen the night before, I did not pack my lunch or my snack. So I'm going to do that real quick before I go too. Give you a little glimpse into how I get my day started. I like to meditate, and then I have a little Bible study, devotional, pray, I journal, I make my coffee, my mushroom coffee. And then this morning, I actually talked to a really good friend of ours that we met over in Germany. So we've known them for a really long time, but we don't talk on a regular basis. And so she reached out and she was like, I want to be intentional and set up time to talk to my friend. I was like, that's awesome. I'm really big on building relationships and trying to make the time for them. And that is a journey that I'm on also. Yeah, so that was nice. And yeah, so now I'm at work. I'll check back in later. The biggest thing I have going on today is I'm prepping for a quarterly program management review. So I'll be working on that for a little bit before I go to lunch. And then after lunch, we're actually going to a few tours. So that should be cool. I'll be out of the office. Lunchtime. And I thought I would come to my car because I brought salmon. And I didn't want to be that person to have fish in the office, stinking up the place. So I'm going to eat my salmon in the car and have a little chat. So, yeah. I feel like work is going a little bit better. I do have a program management review coming up, and we're starting to do them instead of annually, just annually. We're going to do them quarterly, and they just started this when I got to the office, of course. And my line of effort is going to be the first to brief. Not every time will I have to brief. We'll just turn in our charts and they'll review them. But for this first go round, my LOE, so line of effort, we are briefing. So that's what I'm prepping for. And luckily, a lot of the information is going to be reused from the annual PMR. So I just have to go through the notes, get really familiar with it, and then present it. Should be low threat. At least I'm hoping. So, by the way, this is the best salmon that Brandon has made to date. If he can make it like this each and every time, I would tear it up. And I like to mix mine with rice and have some veggies on the side. But yeah, this is really good. So one of the thoughts that I've been having lately, and I'm just going to say something quick because I want to get into this food and I actually want to study a little bit. But I've been listening to the Sunday Jumpstart by Jessica Lauren, and I love two of the points that she makes a lot in her content. And it's, don't be afraid to be seen trying. So that's the first one. And I'll explain what that means. And then also, let it be easy. And I am trying to embrace that with my whole body and my whole mind. Just let it be easy. So if something can be easy and it seems easy, no, it's not too good to be true. No, you don't need to dig deeper and try to complicate it. Like, if it's easy, let it be easy. And so just like I mentioned with the quarterly PMR, so the QPMR, I spoke to someone at the division level, and she was like, yeah, this should be pretty low threat. You know, it's very kind of informal. We're just getting an idea of what's going on in the program, and yeah, should be pretty easy. Me, Danita, likes to complicate things and make things more difficult than they have to be. And so I'm really trying to embrace that. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, if something can't be easy, just let it be easy. Don't get so caught up in thinking about what could go wrong and, you know, how I don't like to brief and all this stuff. Like, guess what? Every time I've briefed, I've done pretty good, even though I get nervous, you know, and all that. Oh my gosh, that is the biggest, hugest bug. What is that? What in the world? Yeah, I can't even remember what I was talking about. I think I was talking about how Danita likes to make things difficult, and I'm not doing that anymore. I'm choosing easy. I'm gonna let it be easy. And then the other thing that I like that Jessica Lauren talks about, she talks about do not be afraid to be seen trying. And what I interpret that to mean, and what she has said, is even though like you're at the beginning stages, even though you're a beginner in something, you know, you're gonna have your growing pains, you're gonna have, you know, that whole learning curve that you have to overcome. But don't be afraid to be seen trying, and then ask for help. And I know for me, I hate to look like I don't know what I'm doing, although 90% of the time I don't know what I'm doing. And I have so much anxiety and just nervousness around that whole process. And then when I get it and, you know, I've gotten into my groove, I feel so much more relaxed and confident, and my self-esteem is up. But throughout that beginning process, that learning process, I am so hard on myself. And it's almost like, instead of just embracing that and be seen trying and failing, it's like I want it to be right. I want it to be good right off the bat, right? And that goes back to that perfectionism. But it does not have to be perfect. I'm not sure where I got my wires crossed growing up, thinking that in order to be seen as good and competent and smart and worthy, that I have to do something perfect. So I took a break, ate my food, and now what I'm gonna do is walk you through my morning routine and my planner. I've already filled out some of the things, but I want to make sure that I get some other things in here, and it doesn't take long. And to be honest, some days I don't fill everything in, but every day I'm not focused on every aspect of this planner. So what it can do is just kind of guide you. So just kind of nudge you and remind you of certain things. And I'll put the camera on there. So like I have on here, I started filling it out this morning, but I always like to put a message to myself. Of course, the date, and I circle the day. And then throughout the day, this is just going to remind me to just keep an eye out for things that I find fun, funny, or made me smile. Where otherwise I wouldn't even really have that in mind, or I just would forget. But just reading that just kind of helps me to remember that. And then helps me to remember to ask for help. So there's a lot of things that I'm working on right now that I could be asking for help. So I'll put something in here to remind me of that. Building relationships. So like this morning, I got to talk to a friend. So if I want to do that again tomorrow, maybe I can remind myself to call my best friend Nadira or my mom or something like that. So, but not every day will I need to use that box, or if I'm super busy, there may be just key parts of this that I'll want to make sure that I'm doing, right? Like my non-negotiables. I definitely check my balance every day. And then my water, I want to make sure I keep track of that. But that's what I'm going to do right now. And I'll let you kind of watch. So yeah, that's going on later. And I've had some water. I just drank just about the rest of that, and that's 20 ounces. So I recorded that, and I did not work out this morning. I did not go for my walk, but maybe this evening I will, because it's actually pretty nice out, but it's not as muggy. It's not as muggy as it was yesterday. So anyways, yeah, so I'm about to check my balance now, and then throughout the day I'll just keep in mind like anything that I've seen that was a challenge or a lesson that I learned, and then when I get to the end of the day, what did I win in? Like, what did I actually accomplish? And then down here, you can either score this like 1 through 5, so 1 being not very productive or having much clarity or having much energy, and then 5 having like the most productivity, clarity, and energy. Or you can just kind of write a sentence in there, and that's what I do. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this a little bit and then maybe check in the evening. It's really easy to push this off, don't get it done, and then by the end of the week you haven't been filling anything in. But if your goal is to make progress and to track what you're doing and to be able to look back to see like how productive you were, how you felt on those days, and just have this data to go back to, you really have to prioritize doing it. Don't think that you have to fill out every section every day, but have some non-negotiables, some that you know for sure I am going to fill in this day, and just stick to that. Oh my goodness, you guys, I am going to turn this air down a little bit. I am so tired. It is 3:42 and we got done with all the tours and all that. Just got a little bit of footage, so I may put it in, I may not. It really wasn't showing anything. Today was a long day. For it to be a short day, as far as being in my office, it was a long day. I went to bed like close to 1. Me and Brandon, we kind of binge watched Homeland, and before that, I watched like 4 or 5, maybe 4 episodes of Owning Manhattan. That show is so good. And I've been getting recommendations from YouTubers that I follow. Erin on Demand, she recommended watching Owning Manhattan with Ryan. What is his last name? Serhant, I think. And it is really good. It's very inspiring. So I took her recommendation and I started watching that. Homeland, Jessica Lauren, who I've mentioned before, she recommended that in one of her YouTube videos, and so I had to check it out, and it is so good. So maybe you'll check it out from my recommendation. But yeah, so now I'm just headed to get Camille. I figured I would pick her up a little bit early. School starts next week, and so we really need to get into maybe a little bit earlier routine where she's getting up a little bit earlier and we're picking her up a little bit earlier to prepare for next week. So that's where I'm headed now. And like I said, I am tired, and I know Millie is going to want to go outside or, do something. So I'm going to have to get my energy up, but I really set myself up for failure today. Being in briefings, technical briefings at that, they were giving demonstrations of different software development and modeling simulations that they have developed, and my eyes were crossing. And in the first place, and you'll see in the clip if I put it in here, it was 80 degrees in this room. Oh my goodness. So yeah, your girl was falling asleep. But really good information. It was nice to get out of the office, and now I'm headed home. Well, as it turns out, they don't get back from their field trip, the zoo, until 5. So I got here early for no reason. So guess I will head home and then have to come back out.
Why did they kill Walker and not you?
So I'm getting ready for bed, finished filling in my planner, and today was a pretty good day. But it's so much easier when you are looking out for the things that you know you have to fill in later, and then just set 5 minutes aside at the end of the day. But your girl is tired. I'm about to go to bed to end this vlog, and I'll see you tomorrow.